let's talk about out of the box marketing strategies because most authors pour their hearts into writing their books. But when it comes to marketing, we kind of default to that same old throw it on social media, hope our friends and family will buy it. And you and I know that just doesn't always work out well, right? There's going to be like a brick wall that you're going to hit eventually, and you've got to start being a little more creative with your marketing. So, today I'm going to give you 5 out of the box marketing ideas, and I just want you to pick a couple of them. Really think of your own. You can come up with some really great ones if you think about your storyline, your character, some things you can incorporate. So don't just stick with my 5, but here is 5 to kind of start that creativity process. Okay. Number 1, I want you to think about collaborating with like some unexpected partners. So let's think beyond other authors, right? Because we start thinking about our writer friends and their platforms. We start thinking about our writers groups. Let's think beyond that. So I'm talking coffee shops. I'm talking like little boutiques around town, maybe some mom and pop stores. But think further about your story. What is your book about? What do you talk about? Do you talk about maybe your main character loves tea? Just drinks tea all the time. Is there a tea shop that you could collaborate with and work with? Maybe, to have your books on their counter. Maybe you could do a signing or some type of speaking event, poetry event. I want you to think about those and hosting a joint event with that business, right? So, a yoga studio, could you do that there? It's something unexpected, but it's something that, their clients aren't really going to expect. They're going to think it's delightful, but it's also going to expand your reach, right? Okay. Number 2, and I love this one. This is fun. Can you create some type of themed book box? Okay, so this is like curating like limited edition boxes that follow the theme of your book. And if your book doesn't have any, I mean, they all have themes, but if you can't really think of a good one, you write sci fi or just something that's very off the wall, a poetry book, nonfiction, things like that. Are there things that you could put into a box that you would put together and mail out and sell it as like this fun experience? So we know that people love experiences, not just products, right? So if you could buy like a little bulk package of boxes and you're putting those together with a signed copy of your book, maybe a bookmark or a notebook. You could put mugs or candles, tea. If your character likes tea and you're teaming up with that tea shop, could you purchase some of their loose leaf, to throw in those boxes? I really want you to think people love that, those subscription services, FabFitFun. That is my favorite time of the season is when I get my FabFitFun box, or like the monthly, what is that? Ipsy. I love my Ipsy bags. They're just fun. So could you do that with your book and have like little themed um, things in there that would promote your book, promote your characters, and you just throw those boxes on your website? It would be fun, right? Um, Number 3 is go guerrilla with your marketing. Okay, so let's talk about this. Could you design or have someone design for you an eye catching bookmark or some type of postcard or stickers? There's all kinds of places out there where you can purchase stickers and like big packs and bundles, notebooks, things like that that have your book cover, your website on them, and then you just leave those everywhere. So there is a cost involved with that. You can go on Canva, you can create a bookmark, and you can actually have it printed by Canva and they'll mail it directly to your house. It's beautiful. I love it. If you are not familiar with Canva, I want you to take my course Design to Shine because we go through all of that and how to set that up. We actually do some things together. We talk about branding. But if you can make some of these little items that follow your brand, that follow your theme, they have your characters or your author photo on it so that you're instantly recognizable, and then just leave those all over the place. The expense in it can be pricey depending on what you're creating and how many you're leaving out, but think of it as an investment. So if I buy 100 bookmarks and I've spent, I don't know, 20 bucks on them, if I've designed them myself, I'm just buying the bookmark. I'm putting those all over the place. If I sell 5 books, I've made my money back and some. Plus, you're getting your name and your brand out there. So, number 4, host micro events. Okay, so this doesn't have to be a huge launch party. We all like those launch parties, they're fun. You invite your family, you invite your close friends. If you host those in a bookstore, you're probably going to get some traffic that's there for other reasons that are going to come by. But again, we hit a brick wall, right? So, what about like a pop up reading at the park? That would be fun. It doesn't take a whole lot of planning. You want to do some planning. You could collaborate with other authors to make it a bigger event, throw some signage around town. What about a themed trivia night? So if you're writing about, I don't know, if you're writing sci fi, maybe you could do some sci fi trivia games. Maybe partner with a local sports bar or a mom and pop restaurant and just say, hey, can I host this? That's going to be good for them because they're going to have traffic coming in that's there for that trivia night that's going to purchase something. And you're going to get the benefit of their guests that are going to come in anyway. So could you do something like that, or maybe a Q and A at the library? Libraries are usually very supportive of local authors. Go in, have a meeting, and just say, hey, is there something that I can do? Either, a Q&A, or maybe you could teach a workshop, something, and then that is going to bring some new eyes onto your book, but also you're giving that library something that they can push out to bring more patrons in. So, a library is a great partner for you to have. Okay. And number 5 is turn your book into shareable content. Okay. So, could you create some short videos? Even if it's just you reading your favorite parts of your book, or maybe you're talking through some of your characters, maybe you're telling a little bit about the writing process. Challenge readers to post their favorite line from your book on their social media accounts. Maybe you could even make it some type of contest, or if you do this, you get so much percentage off of the book, or I'll throw in the box. The more interaction that you can get, especially online, the better that you're going to do. And your readers really do want to feel like they're part of your journey. So, that's it. These strategies work because they're going to make your book stand out from the crowd. There are so many authors out there that are pushing their books, but they're doing it that traditional marketing way. So if you can think of some things that are very out of the box, very fun, mix it up, you're going to gain some attention, right? Okay, so which one are you going to try first? I want you to let me know in the comments, or if you come up with your own, please share it. We would love to know what all is out there. We can collaborate. We can share ideas to get our books out there and get them further. And then be sure to follow for more tips on publishing advice.